Hi, hope you are doing a great. Though it is a pandemic situation. My name is Ashikur Rahman and I want to introduce with you a new channel that is name is Not For Profit. The key objectives of the channel is to share with you the experiences and learning and knowledge about the humanitarian development and transitional sector. I have a 15-year experiences and my professional career all about to work in the development and humanitarian sectors. So I need to share with you what I learned, what I did, and what I will do in the next. I am sure that it will be helpful to the people, though who are want to start or though who want to build their career in the humanitarian development and transitional sectors in the non-government organizations. So please come and listen and thank you for being with us. Thank you. হাই, আপনারা সবাই কেমন আছেন? আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন। যদিও আমরা এখন একটা পেন্ডেমিক সিচুয়েশনের ভিতর দিয়ে যাচ্ছি, তবে আশা করি আপনারা সবাই ভালো আছেন এবং সবাইকে ভালো রাখছেন। আমার সালাম নিবেন। প্রথমে আমি আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ দিই যে আপনারা আমাদের চ্যানেলটা শুনতেছেন। এটা একটা নতুন চ্যানেল, দ্যাট ইজ নেম ইজ নট ফর প্রফিট। সো এই নিউ চ্যানেলের মাধ্যমে আমি যেটা বলছি যে আমরা অনেক কিছু ট্রাই করব জানার জন্যে, স্পেশালি the issues in the humanitarian and development sector in Bangladesh and over the world. So আমরা আজকে দুইটা বিষয় আলোচনা করব। The first one is what is UN, then INGOs, that is mean the international NGO and local NGO, their relation, their differences, why these three entities are existing, blah blah. And then we're going to the next topics is career in these three entities like UN, INGOs and NGOs. In a broad sense, we are categorize all of the non-government organizations that are not for profit in a three broad sense, three broad entities like UN, then INGOs and NGOs. So first of all, I am starting from the last one, that is NGO. So if you are elaborate that NGO, that non-government organization, but will be talked on which are not for profit. So you know that in আমাদের দেশে charity, then foundation, Shasta Foundation, then many other foundation আছে, অনেক charity আছে, অনেক clubs আছে, অনেক community based group আছে, and কিছু NGO আছে যারা সাব ডিস্ট্রিক্ট লেভেলে অথবা ডিস্ট্রিক্ট লেভেলে অথবা কান্ট্রি লেভেলে মানে ন্যাশনাল লেভেলে কাজ করে, তাদের কভারেজটা। সো এই গ্রুপটাকে একটা ব্রড গ্রুপ, এই গ্রুপটাকে আমরা এনজিওর ভিতরে আসতেছি। সো এনজিও ইজ এ নন গভর্নমেন্ট অর্গানাইজেশন, দোজ হু আর সাপোর্টিং গভর্নমেন্টস ফর ইন্টারভেনশন ইন দ্য হিউম্যানিটেরিয়ান ট্রানজিশন অ্যান্ড ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেক্টর। বেসিক্যালি এই যে এন্টিটিস আপনারা দেখতেছেন নন গভর্নমেন্ট অর্গানাইজেশন, তারা বেসিক্যালি গভর্নমেন্টকে সাপোর্ট করার জন্য তাদের এক্সিস্টিং, এবং তারা বিভিন্ন নামে, যদি আমি নামগুলো বলতে চাই, at the national level there is a ASHA, Poshika, BRAC is a now international NGO, Padukhep, they are working the national level, মানে তাদের কভারেজটা ন্যাশনাল লেভেল, and sub district level there are NGOs is there like TMMS, then UBNIC, then NNS, MMS, SDA, they are working the divisional level. I mean that some 4 or 5 districts, and so that their coverage is the divisional level, and then district level like SGUK. It is a Kurigram based organization, and that is work only that Kurigram. So they are the district level. So those all of that NGOs, I mean the charity foundation, all are in a this NGO basket. So it's a huge broad sense. You know that Bangladesh, there is a lot of NGOs like they are working in the international development sector. Almost 8,000 NGOs was there, but recent time only the 200 to 300 NGO are working in a proper way with the legal procedure, tax, and everything. So that and within that only 20 to 30 are at national level, 100 to 200 in the divisional and sub-divisional level. That is the scenario of that NGO in the Bangladesh. So I think you have a broad idea about that NGO. So these are we are called the local NGO, and basically they are the main actor in the field level. They are implementing most of the money coming from the international NGO, UN, multilateral and bilateral donors, and sometimes government. Now we are coming to the INGO. Who are the INGO? INGO means INGO, International Non-Government Organizations. So the thing is same, but the INGO does it mean it means that they are working in the many countries, more than 2 3 countries. So they are the international organization. Like BRAC, once upon a time is a local NGO. Now it is international NGOs because BRAC is now working in the many countries in Africa, some in the the Middle East, and then Latin America also. So they are now international NGO. We can say definitely we can say. Rather than BRAC, there are many other almost 100 plus in INGOs working in Bangladesh, like Oxfam, ActionAid, WaterAid, then whatever I say, ACF, then uh, International Rescue Committee. There are lots of INGOs working in the Bangladesh. So why they are working in Bangladesh? They are basically uh, work as a middle man, basically donor and NGOs contact with INGOs for any intervention program or projects, and then the INGO contact with the local NGO. Why they contact with the local NGO? The INGOs don't have that capacity, though they don't have that resource like the coverage, their staffing, everything. So they are contact with local NGO, and local NGO especially they are acting in the field and they are implementing the project and program in the banner of INGO, sometimes in the banner of UN, and sometimes in banner of government. So that is the scenario. So what are the INGOs? INGOs, those who are working in the many countries in the world, and they are also working by themselves or they working with the community base or local NGO of that country to optimize the result within a low resource or within the effective cost effective manner. Okay, now come to the UN. What the UN? I'm not, if I'm not wrong, the UN established in the 1947 after the World War. At that time we need to build the world once again, and shanti, srinkhola, that is and development, that is the much more demandable things that at that time. So for that reason and need a collaboration country to country and over the world. So at that time the big countries like America, Russia, and then other, basically the Mitro Bahini of the world, where they are establishing the UN at that time to develop and tackle the humanitarian situation over the country, over the world. In that perception, what the UN did, UN, in a word we say UN, that means United Nations. We have to add that S after the nation. The United Nations. United Nations have a core wings like FAO, UNHCR, WHO, UNICEF. They are the core program that was established at that first time I mean the 1947. After that, when they are tracking the humanitarian and food-related crisis, that time in the 1956 or 60, they are continuing a program like World Food Program. After that is one mission and the program. After that, the World Food Program is a self a wings after finishing that one according to the need. So now that is also a wings. First time it was a program, then a mission, and then after a wings. So as a whole, till the time the UN have a, I mean that 150 more mission and wings. Within that, in our country, almost 30. I mean that UN wings are working like UNICEF, UNHCR, UN Habitat, UNOPS, FAO, WFP, WHO, all are the UN wings. And accumulating all of that wings, we say United Nations. And every wings have a different agenda. Like FAO working on agriculture, UNICEF working on children and nutrition, WHO working on health, and then UNHCR working on refugee matter, then WFP working on humanitarian response, money, food crisis response after any conflict or disaster. So with the different agenda, each of the wings working in a country, and now almost 150 plus member in a UN, and they are giving the money, and America is the highest money giver. So after collecting that money, UN distributed money to the developing country and conflict area, disaster-prone area for the save life and save crisis situation through that money. And that money come to government, that money come to the INGOs, and that money sometimes come to the local NGO directly. So UN can basically almost 50% money given to the government, and 50% money within the remaining 50% they are given 20% to INGOs, 5% to local NGOs, and almost 10 to 15% they are working directly. That is how the UN work in the country. So I think that you have a, this is broad idea about UN, INGOs and NGOs. So you have any question? I'll be very happy to answer on that figures. I'm trying to make a broad sense what is UN, what is INGOs, and then NGOs and their roles. If you say their relationships, I'm already said that UN, like WP working in Bangladesh, some they are implementing some program with their partners. Here is a partner means the INGOs and a local NGOs. So WFP contract with INGOs, one or many, for a program, and then INGO contract with local NGO for implementing the program. So basically INGO monitoring the local NGO, and UN also monitoring the INGOs and local NGOs. Thereby a program is, that program is completing. Sometimes in that process also involve government as a technical partner, or as a partner they are oversee the whole program. Now the question is why INGO, NGO and NGOs, UN is there. Especially we have to remember that all of the three entities in a country to support the government of the country. If we example like Bangladesh, we have a lack of capacity of the staffs. We have a not infrastructure not at a satisfactory level in the very remote areas, and then we have not a satisfactory level of staff. So staffing gap, resource, the money gaps, institutional gap. So all of the gap are trying to minimize through INGOs and local NGOs. That's why when governments works in development and humanitarian work, they are getting support from INGOs, NGOs, and even suddenly if a disaster for a I mean that a scenario, I build a scenario so that you can get a real idea. I mean that practical idea what the relationship with the three entities and their working manner. Okay, fine. So if a one disaster happen, that time even INGOs and NGOs with a collaboration manner, they are trying to accumulate all of the data regarding the disaster, and then they are compile all of the things and what resource is there to mitigate the disaster, and then it is proposed to the governments. And when governments see that there is a need of support from that UN NGOs or the donor, then they are appeal for that one. And then basically I am missed one thing. Apart from the three entities, UN NGOs and NGOs, there is another group of people that is called donor. So if we see the we are prioritize this one, the donor is the higher priority one. Basically donor means DFID, USAID, OSAID. So DFID is that money of the people, money from the England peoples, British peoples, and then America, the American people's money, and USAID, OSAID is the Australian people money. So they are the multilateral and bilateral donor, and they are the big shot. Basically the Netherlands, OSAID, USAID are the key donor in Bangladesh. So whatever. So when government appeals, the donor give the money. I mean that whatever say the donor, USAID, OSAID, CEDA, I mean that they are given money to the UN, and UN given money to the INGO, and in this collaboration manner they are going to implement a program. And at that time they are contact with NGO, I mean the local NGO, and there is a 3 4 entities, donor, INGOs, NGOs, and UN. So first one donor, second one UN, third one INGOs, and the last one NGO. And then that NGO or the fourth one, they are implementing the program. And the process we say the partnership. Okay, we will be make another video or another episode on the partnership. So this is how that is the I mean that the working manner within that 4 entities. Okay, so this is our first topics we want to share with today. We want to discuss on that one. If you have any question, please you can ask any question. I will very happy to that answer your question within my knowledge experiences. I have a 15-year experiences working in the UN. I'm working UN last that 14 years. INGOs 3 years, and local NGO almost 3 4 years, whatever it is. So now we are going to the second topics. Our second topics is today's topics is career in UN, NGOs and donor, whatever. So I want to share with you one thing, that it's possible that you will be go to the donor, so that you will be work in the USA. You can work in the Syria, you can work in the defeat. You can work in the UN wings like UNICEF, UNDP, UNHCR, FAO, WP, whatever it is. You can work, and you can also work in the INGOs. That NGOs like ActionAid, and then Oxfam, then mm, then SCF, then HKI. There is a lots of, and then there is a lots of INGOs there. So you can also work there, and you can also work in the local NGOs. So at first, I think so. You have to need to this is step one. If you want to start your career in that, they are all the four entities, the donor, UN, INGOs, and NGOs. They are basically supporting the government, and which sector? Three broad sector: humanitarian sector, transitional sector, and then development sector. Okay, remember it. This is the broad sector: humanitarian, transitional, and development. So that donor, UN, INGOs, and NGOs all are working in that three broad sector to support government. This is the broad logic. Then now come the career. Okay, so if you want to build your career in that three sectors: development, transitional, and humanitarian sector, so I want to share with you in a stepwise. So first step, you have to gain some experience. I mean that you have to gain some experience from the field. So try to join in a local NGO or try to join in an international NGO, so that you can gain the experience of a implementation of project or program. You can gain that knowledge about 3 to 4 years, so that you know everything about how to um, implement a program in a field. So you will learn all of the things, because you know that when a project comes, it's a documents. That documents come to INGOs, and INGO is delivered to their partner, like mean the local NGO. Then local NGO implement all of the activities within a project through a timeline with a planned resource, and wants to complete the coverage also. So there is a different things is involved here. There are administrative things, logistics things, programmatic things, planning, many things, monitoring, documenting, and then evaluation. So there is a lots of activities are involved in a implementation of a program in a field, from starting to the end. So this you need to gain that experiences from field. If you sit in the Dhaka, you can't uh, gain that experience. So if you want to work in UN, there is exceptional, but you can. I am thinking about general. So if you wants to work in UN and donor agency, you have to work in the local and INGOs at first for 3 to 4 years for gain the field level experience, and then you can come to UN or the donor agencies. This will be the wise stepping. Okay, and then second step, you have to identify your interest. So I say that there is a three broad sector. What I say that humanitarian sector, transitional sector, and then development sector. Okay, I will be share with you what the meaning of that three sectors in a broad sense. I'll be coming later, but the definition of that one. But rightly, you have to set yourself where is your interest. When you, I mean that it will be depends on your education also. If you are a honors or master in a accounting or management or kind of financial things, so I am sure that you will be go to the administrative part of that intervention. If you have a social science, if you have a kind of sorry, humanity subject. Then you have a biological subject, you have a social subject, and then you have a multidisciplinary subject. I'm sure that you are going to in the programmatic part of that intervention. And if you have some management and then other MBA kind of things, I think that you have to go to the logistic or programmatic things. And IT people will be they have a computer science and other electronics, whatever. They will go to the electronics. They will go to the part of the IT part of the intervention. So you have to identify which is your interest according to your educational background and according to your interest. You will be set up that one. So within the 3 to 4 year experience in the field level, and when you identify your interest correctly, then I will recommend you to learn more and more about your interest. So if you are sure that your interest according to your educational background and according to your interest, you are going to see yourself as a project coordinator, program manager, or the head of intervention or head of program. So you have to learn as much as possible what a head of program doing, what a project manager doing in the field level, and what knowledge you have to gain from the field. Though you can be a good manager, good coordinator, or good head of program or country director kind of things. So apart from your interest, you have to also gain knowledge of all of the sector. I mean that units. I will not say sector, all of the units like administrative unit, logistic units, and then you know that financial unit, so that you have a broad idea of the all of the units and you have a depth idea of which is your interest is there. This is the part 3, step 3. And then step 4, welcome. Welcome to UN and donor agency with your interest. When you learn from the field regarding your interest, and apart from your interest, you also learn the other units of a program, then you have a great confidence within you to apply UN and donor. Just a one thing, just a 1 minute that just broadly identify which type of unit in a program, like admin plus finance, okay, one unit, logistic another unit, then program third unit, okay, then liaison kind of coordination and then communication, there is another unit. So we have also identified the 4 units. And what is the another unit? Maybe the documentation, a mini part. So accountability part, that is a mini accountability and learning. That is the another unit, okay? And 6 is, what will be the 6th part of 6? Whatever it is, it could be advocacy 1, advocacy 1 can be another, okay? So I'm not going to the advocacy. So in a broad sense, there is a 4 to 5 units. So you choose the program unit. So it will be your depth knowledge you gain within the 3-4 years with international or local NGOs. It's better to mix. I mean that local NGO 1 to 2 years and that international NGO 1 to 2 years. So at average 3 to 4 years in the local NGOs and INGOs, and go for a drive to UN or donor agency. So I'm coming back to the that point. So program is your that chosen part. So you have to gain the depth knowledge at that part, at that unit, and you have to also gain some sort of knowledge like admin, the logistic, M&E, and you can. I'm sure, I'm confident, and believe me that you can grow yourself with much more confidence, and then go for UN and donor agency with, and that apply to that. I'll be come with you the one another episode how you apply to UN and donor agency. Okay, that will be another. So at that time I'll be talk with you at the CV, your cover letter, and that keywords, keywords in your cover letter, whatever it is. I'll be give you a general idea so that you will be for sure that you will be people will be call you, people will be try to hire you through your cover letter and your CV. I'm sure, and you will be get the confidence that you will be going to call from that agency after listening my episode. I'm sure. So today we are going to finish that one. আমরা আজকে শেষ করতে যাচ্ছি। এগেন আমাদের টপিক ছিল দুইটা। আপনারা ডেসক্রিপশনে, ভিডিও ডেসক্রিপশনে আপনারা দেখতে পারবেন। আমরা এই ভিডিওটাকে, এই লিসেনিং পার্টটাকে আমরা ইউটিউবে আপলোড করব, এবং চ্যানেল নেম ইজ নট ফর প্রফিট। অ্যান্ড সেখানে একটা ইমেল আইডি থাকবে, আপনারা কন্ট্যাক্ট করতে পারবেন। মোবাইল নাম্বার থাকবে, আপনারা ইনস্ট্যান্ট মেসেজের মাধ্যমে জানতে পারবেন। অ্যান্ড দেন definitely any question please ask me. I will try to make my answer with references as much as possible. So thank you for listening. If you think it is give you some information and knowledge regarding the donor UN INGOs and NGOs, if it is helpful, if you are found that it is helpful, please like this one, share this one, so that other people will be receive some help, receive some information from the channel. I'm so happy that you are listening. So that thank you, and once again, that welcome for the coming episode. Thank you so much, and please hit the bell button so that you can get the update information about any new listening episode. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us.